Hey everybody, it's Randall back with another video. So, we're going to talk Tim Tebow. For those of you who aren't aware, Tim Tebow decided to weigh in on the whole issue about whether college athletes should be paid or not, or should be able to get some compensation. And he came up with perhaps the most, how can one put this? Misguided, we'll call it that. Misguided argument to say that athletes shouldn't get paid, that you go to school because your grandfather went to that school. Sorry, Tim, but that's not how this works. You, as much as anybody else, should know that the NCAA and college athletics is a business. We don't want to call it that, but it's a business. Schools earn millions upon millions of dollars in the bowl games. Schools earn millions of dollars during March Madness. And some of this money goes to the lesser programs. I kind of hate to use that word, but no one's going to go out and watch lacrosse unless you're Johns Hopkins, Syracuse. And college hockey doesn't bring in as much, so it's going to get fed some money from college football and college basketball. But that being said, Tim Tebow's making the argument that college athletes shouldn't be allowed to make money off of their services, that the scholarships are good enough. Well, Tim never had to deal with the fact that Florida could have pulled his scholarship anytime they wanted to. Okay, if Florida felt, hey, we got a better quarterback here than Tim Tebow, so sorry, Tim, we're just going to pull your scholarship and give it to this guy over here. Many athletes, they'll get a scholarship freshman year, and by junior year, if they're not starting or otherwise contributing, guess what? That scholarship goes away because the schools are only allowed X number of scholarships. So that scholarship goes away, and all of a sudden, this person who's had a 2-year free ride, well, now they have to seek out student loans. Now they have to pay for school. Or maybe they get a partial scholarship, but they still have to pay for school. Now, Tim Tebow also has to realize that when Nike was putting out those Florida number 15 jerseys, nobody said, oh, number 15, that's a good jersey, I'll go buy that one. No, they were going in the store saying, hey, I want the Tim Tebow jersey because that number was associated with him. You know, coaches make millions of dollars. Guys like Dabo Sweeney, Nick Saban, Brian Kelly, just to name a few, are earning obscene amounts of money to coach college football. I think I read somewhere that Alabama's assistant coaches make more money per year than coaches at schools like, say, Kent State, Miami of Ohio, or some of the lesser conference programs out there. The NCAA itself, it's almost like the American version of FIFA. It makes billions of dollars a year, okay? Makes obscene amounts through sponsorships. But people get upset because the players want a little compensation. People tell them, oh, you got your scholarship, that's good enough. Not realizing, like I said before, those scholarships are not guaranteed. The school can pull them anytime they want. In fact, many times they do. You can just go ahead and Google players who were starters 1 year. 2 years later, they're playing at a D2 school or D3 school because they no longer had their scholarship to go to a school like, say, Michigan, Ohio State, Texas A&M, Florida A&M, or the Florida State, excuse me. And they lose their scholarship. Now they have to drop a level. All right, so scholarships are not guaranteed. Let's, put that right out there. If coaches can move freely and make as much money as they want, like I said, there are coaches that they won't go to the NFL because they'll make more in college. Why go to the NFL? That's why Nick Saban went back to college, because he realized he can make more in 1 year of college football than he could 5 years coaching in the NFL. All right? Coaches can make buku money. Athletic directors can make a lot of money. The school itself can make a lot of money. And by the way, raise tuition fees on you while they're earning all that money through athletics. But the college athlete, he can't. He's pretty much at the will of the system. It's a corrupt system. I'm not saying that you have to give players a salary, but you can give them something. Enough of this meal money crap. And if a player wants to go out and market himself on Twitter or social media and make a little bit of money, let him. It's free enterprise. You are already profiting, NCAA, off of this player. Why should the player be able to market himself and make a little money? Odds are he's not going to go pro. I don't care how many times he's All-American. Odds are against it he's going to go pro in the NFL. Even worse in NBA. More than likely he's going to go overseas to play. The NCAA is a monster. Bottom line, the NCAA is a monster in my opinion. They make a lot of money off these kids, and they tell these kids they can't make money. Kind of sounds a little messed up. And when you listen to the rationale of Danny Cannell and Tim Tebow as to why players shouldn't be compensated, you just scratch your head even more, and you wonder how somebody who actually played college athletics could be so removed from the situation and totally misguided. So, I say, let the kids make a little money, let them learn about marketing, and you know what? If they don't go pro, maybe they have a little cash stored so that they can pay their college loans if they have any. Or start a foundation, do something. These kids are already showing the initiative. Let's not mute it on them. That's just my take. Have a good night and a better tomorrow.